again, everyone. So I met Gina Raimondo just about like 2 months ago. She came into Fortune, former publisher of Fortune, a guy named Jack Hare, brought us together. And she is kind of a last minute. I said, you should come to the Most Powerful Women's Summit. And she looked at her calendar, and you made it work. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here.
Who would miss this?
Absolutely. So she said I can call her Gina. I'm not going to call her Governor Raimondo. So Gina started the first venture capital firm in Rhode Island. And, you know, I think so many of the women in this audience may have not seriously considered, but they've thought about, what if I ever went into government? What if I ever changed, like, running a company to running a state? What would that be like? So when you thought about it, and you first became treasurer, and you became governor of Rhode Island in January, how much is it different from what you expected when you were a businesswoman?
Yeah. Well, first of all, if anyone is considering it, you should do it. Because we need talent in government. You know, the problems that you're trying to solve as a governor, as a senator, as a mayor are complicated and difficult, and they're only going to get solved if smart, talented people step up. So see me after if you have any interest, and I'll encourage you to do it. You know, in some ways it's very similar in terms of you need a strategy, you need a team, you need a plan, and I think all of that is the same. In other ways, it's unbelievably different. I mean, frankly, you know, there's not enough accountability in government. That's one of the things I'm working hard to bring to government, measuring outcomes. Are you getting your money's worth? More accountability. And then, of course, the public element of it is very different. Every mistake is public. Every move you make is public. And you just have to learn to maneuver around that. But I have loved it. I mean, you know, if you're willing to take on the big issues, you put a good team together, you can get a lot done. And I have found that to be very gratifying.
So Rhode Island's pension system was one of the sickest in the nation. I think by some measures it was the second sickest in the nation, right? And so Gina was a businesswoman, and she was very concerned about this, and she ran for treasurer, and she won, and she did remarkable things without raising taxes in Rhode Island that did incite the wrath of the unions, and you finally won them over enough to be elected governor. But Gina, describe what you did and describe how bad it was and how much better it got.
You know, it was bad. In fact, I don't know if anyone here is from Illinois. I think the only state worse was Illinois. She's waving her hand. It was very bad. Look, I call it the politics of procrastination. And in this regard, I think government needs more women, because we don't have time to procrastinate. We've got to get to the business of solving problems. And pensions have been ignored for a long time because the politics are difficult. So we had one of the highest unfunded liabilities in the country, and I just decided it was time to take it on. And so I spent a year doing town hall meetings, making the case to the people. And my tagline was, this is math, not politics. And I just went around and said, look, this isn't us versus them, labor versus management. We have a problem. We have a problem. And if you want a pension at the end of the line to be there, and by the way, if you want to have money for schools and public buses and other public infrastructure, we have to get together and fix this. And at the end of the day, we were able to do that by overwhelming majorities in the House and the Senate. But as you point out, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, there was a huge amount of opposition.
Yeah, and some of the sort of pain points were you slash cost of living increases for public employees, you raised their retirement age, and what is the secret to, is the secret to convincing them that they have to live with that? Is the secret showing them the worst case scenario if they don't do it? Or What's the communication method here?
I think some of it is just being honest with people. You know, I would go into large, 600, 700, 800 people, 1,000 people, union employees, teachers, state employees, and they were mad. They were angry. And I would say, I'd be angry if I were you too. But don't blame me. Blame all the people before me that weren't honest with you and led us to a system that is broken. And I would just lay it out for them and say, if we do nothing, your pension will be cut in half. If we act now, I can save your pension. Maybe you won't get a cost of living increase, but at least you'll get a pension. But if we do nothing, let me tell you what's going to happen to you. And oh, by the way, 1 or 2 cities will go bankrupt in the process, and how is that good for you? And over time, I'll tell you, so many people said to me, it's amazing, when you're a politician, people will say anything to you. So many people would say to me, I don't like you. And I don't like you, and I don't like what you're saying, but I trust you. Because you seem like you really understand what's going on, you believe deeply this is the right solution, and you're the first person who had the guts to come and talk to us and be honest with us. So, I feel that that's very important. This year, as governor, I've tackled Medicaid. 1/3 of Rhode Island's state budget is Medicaid. That's probably true in most states. And I did the same thing again. I said, guys, we have got to deal with this. We've got to lower the cost of health care. Upset the apple cart again, but we got it done. Rhode Island is moving away from fee-for-service. We're paying for value, not volume. Because I believe, I want Rhode Island to be the place of choice for businesses. And the only way that's going to happen is if we keep our cost structure low and if we have talent.
Right.
So that's my overall strategy.
So she does have, I don't know how much you play this up, but Gina has a degree, an economics degree from Harvard, undergrad. She was a Rhodes Scholar, so she went to Oxford, and she went to Yale Law School. So that's not bad. I don't know how much you play that up with the unions in Rhode Island, but it does give you a certain credibility with this crowd. Who has a question?
Overeducated.
Yes. Wait for the mic.
So you're able to do some reforms. Were you able to pass anything that would stop the next politician from making promises that can't be kept?
Great question. So my theory was, if I was going to go through all the political pain of taking on pensions, I was going to go for something big, not a tinkering, but a big reform. And the substance of what we did is we moved to more of a defined contribution. And also we tied the cost of living increase, to the extent we still have it, to the actual investment rate of return. Because what I viewed my role is to just take the risk out of the equation, take the risk off of the taxpayer. So that will be sustained long after I'm gone. The whole point of it is we couldn't risk having a city go bankrupt the next time the stock market crashed, or the next time another governor came into office or another treasurer came into office. So we really did make these structural reforms that'll withstand the test of time.
Do you want to stay in politics for many, many, many years to come, or would you consider? Do you see business as your next chapter?
It's a good question. So I am 10 months into a 4-year term of being governor.
But you were treasurer.
I was treasurer.
Yes.
So right now I'm consumed 7 days a week with, making Rhode Island's economy more vibrant, making our government work, in many ways fixing dysfunctional departments of government. The honest answer is I don't know. I like being an executive. I've got a great team. As with business, it's all about talent. You're going to get the best people around you, and I think I've done that. So I'm focused on this right now, and we'll see where it goes.
So
I have no particular political plan. I mean, I ran for office because I saw a need in Rhode Island, and we're getting things done. And where that leads, I don't know.
You are a big Hillary Clinton supporter. What do you think she needs to do tonight to pull out, to make people stop worrying about Hillary Clinton?
You know, she needs to talk about the issues. We need to talk about something other than emails and get her ideas out, and get her solutions out, and get her plans out. And I'm confident that once that discussion begins to happen, she will shine and the campaign will go from there.
Well, you're going to be with us tonight, and if you come back here afterwards, you can watch the debate with all of us, and that would be pretty cool. So, Governor Gina Raimondo, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Patty.